Whispers of the Rain. It was on a quiet spring afternoon, when the rain danced softly against the old cobblestones of a sleepy Parisian street, that Alara first met Adrian. She was huddled beneath a red umbrella, standing just outside a small antique bookstore tucked between a cafe and a florist. Her eyes were following the water trails running down the glass window, her heart lost in a world of forgotten dreams and unwritten letters. Adrian, tall and quiet, with a leather-bound journal always tucked beneath his arm, was already inside the shop. He noticed her the moment she stepped under the awning, her auburn hair a soft halo in the dim light. Something about her, the way she tilted her head to read the store's name, the way her fingers traced the spines of the books through the window, stirred something long buried within him. He opened the door and offered a simple, "You look like someone who might love stories." She blinked, surprised, and then smiled. "Only the ones that feel like rain, soft, lingering, and impossible to forget." That was how it began. Over time, their lives unfolded like pages in a well-loved novel. Every Sunday, they met at the bookstore. They read poetry aloud in hidden corners, sipped tea under the vines of the cafe next door, and left notes for each other inside books, small messages, tiny pieces of their souls. Adrian wrote stories about a girl who danced in the rain and always found her way back to him. Alara painted pictures of a boy with ink-stained fingers and eyes full of old dreams. They were both searching for something, and slowly, they realized they had found it in each other. Their love wasn't loud or filled with grand declarations. It was quiet, the kind of love that lingers in the air, in glances across shelves, in the brush of hands as they reached for the same book. It grew like ivy, patient and persistent. One rainy evening, years later, Adrian brought her back to the bookstore, now theirs. It had grown with them, just as old and magical, filled with the stories of their love. As the rain whispered against the windows, he knelt beneath that same red umbrella, now faded with time, and asked her to write the next chapter of their story, forever. With tears in her eyes and a heart full of all the poems he'd ever read to her, she said yes. And so, beneath the rain that first brought them together, Alara and Adrian began the most beautiful story of all, the one that never truly ends. More than just friends. Emma and Lucas had been best friends for as long as they could remember. From building sandcastles in kindergarten to pulling all-nighters before college exams, they were inseparable. Everyone around them used to joke, "You two are basically a couple," but they'd always laugh it off. To them, their friendship was something rare, deep, honest, and full of understanding. But as time went on, things started to shift. Lucas began noticing the little things, the way Emma's eyes sparkled when she talked about her dreams, or how her laugh lingered in his mind long after she was gone. He didn't say anything, too afraid to ruin what they had. Emma felt it too. She started catching herself waiting a little longer for his texts, caring a little more about what he thought. But like Lucas, she buried those feelings under layers of "we're just friends." One night, they sat on the rooftop of Emma's apartment, watching the stars in silence. There was a comfortable warmth between them, but also something unspoken, something that had been growing for years. "I have to tell you something," Lucas said finally, his voice barely above a whisper. Emma turned to him, her heart racing. "Me too," she replied. They looked at each other, and in that moment, everything was clear. The late-night talks, the inside jokes, the constant support, it had always been love, hiding in plain sight. Lucas reached for her hand. "I think I've been in love with you for a long time." Emma smiled, tears forming in her eyes. "Then we've both been waiting for each other." From that night on, they were no longer just best friends. They were soulmates who had found love in the safest place of all, each other's hearts.